The Assignment.
Monday is assignment day, where today commercial photographer and food specialist, and I might add fine landscaper too, photography that is, I've no idea what he's like with a hedge trimmer, Chris Orange, our special guest, sets a photography challenge or a way to think about your picture making for the next week. It's a challenge for everyone, whatever kind of photography interests you, whatever camera you hold, film, larger format, DSLR, mirrorless, compact, smartphone, it's all about the picture that you see. As always, there's a show page on the website, photowalk.show, and I'd love you to share the pictures you make for this challenge, which I can then upload to the show page for this edition eventually. And you can check back, of course, to see pictures from previous editions. And before we meet Chris, my thanks to our wonderful patrons and mpb.com who sponsor this show, the number one company in the UK, the US and Europe, with bases in Brighton and Brooklyn and Berlin when it comes to buying and selling and trading used camera kit online. It's a safe place to do business with guarantees upon what you buy. A look ahead to the photo walk this Friday, and my guests are the artist duo Alexandrov Klum, who photograph our world, the one we live on and the one they love.
I think that we all know, most of us know our predicament, the challenges we're facing or that we're in the midst of, but dystopia and misanthropia is not necessarily the answer. I think we have one foot in the reality, but also we have another foot in the beauty, but also the dreamlike beauty, because we are portraying the world. It's sort of a dreamlike state that we produce.
We try to integrate the forest into those rooms instead, and that's of course very site specific, and that's a project we've been working on since 2016 and that we continue working on.
Iris and Matthias from Alexandrov Klum, my special guests this coming Friday. Right, let's meet our guest for today, setting you a challenge for the new week.
The Assignment.
Chris, absolute pleasure to have you setting some assignments. This is the first of 3. Who knows? There may well be more when you get back from the World Cup. I'm still not jealous. But, oh, by the way, if that doesn't make any sense, Chris is going to the World Cup to photograph food. I'm insanely envious. But let's move on. Assignment number 1, we're going to sort of take you back in time, aren't we?
Yes. Now, I have recently bought my 10-year-old son his first camera. Yeah. It was quite a big deal for me, obviously, because I'm a photographer on my trade. So it was like, I want him to start with something that at least is bigger than his phone. Yeah. And so I got him this little Canon 20D, and we went out and he started shooting. And I've been fascinated to watch him take photos. Yeah. It's like watching the very early version of me. He's very excited. Yeah. He's very naive, and he's much shorter than I am. And so I love to watch, you're watching what he's watching, seeing what he's looking at. He hasn't had anyone ruin his photography experience by telling him that you shouldn't photograph that because it's been done before, or you shouldn't photograph this because it's cliche. And actually, we were traveling to London the other day to lay some flowers at the Buckingham Palace after the Queen died. And on the train on the way up, one of my daughters, who's very creative, she is looking up above her head, and she's got her iPhone, and she's photographing her reflection in the ceiling that's reflecting back somewhere else, and she's doing all this stuff. And
Fantastic.
I said to Harry, why aren't you taking these pictures? He's like, no, it's not for me. I was like, okay. And then we get to London, and he just does not stop taking pictures. Every bridge, every kind of site, London major sites, he could see boats, this, that, the other, people. Yeah, and it just fascinated me, the thought of becoming a child again and spending a week as a child, taking pictures like a child. That goes from the height, so maybe getting on our knees and seeing what they see, because your whole frame changes when you're low to the ground. Yeah. The whole angle of view is completely different, but also, and more importantly, removing the layers of cynicism that we just find as adults, and perhaps we don't realize we've got. We don't take certain pictures because we think that actually someone's going to say it's been done before, or we don't, shoot into the light because we think, actually that's cliche, or all the things that go through our heads that we've been told. Lose it all for a week and just shoot whatever you think will look nice, or you just enjoy. And you may not share it with anyone, but I bet you what will happen is it will just bring out some roots in you, some new life. that will just start to grow.
But we are essentially talking about lowering your camera angle, aren't we?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
so you
as
are
well.
getting down,
Yeah.
sit down, kneel down,
Yeah.
find a way to get low and see like a child.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I think it will bring out some really fun images from us all.
And that is our challenge for this week. I'll be delighted to see what you produce and would love to show them on today's corresponding show page on the website photowalk.show. Music on the show is from artlist.io. Neil Ford, Emily Renier and Andrea Gilpin, thank you for your support work behind the scenes. And I look forward to photographing with you, hearing from you and talking with you on the Photo Walk.
The Assignment is a Loading Zone production. The assignment.